What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about strive. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what really moved it and what could potentially be coming next. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So today it had a phenomenal day, went up 49.09%. $1.35 the low, 181 the high, and 1.04 billion in volume, 64.3 million is the average. Nothing coming out from the company today, no SEC filings, no press releases, so it was just largely piggybacking off the broader market's optimism, as well as having its own kind of momentum that was largely building over the weekend. So I did a video about Strive, went over some key things that investors needed to kind of be aware of and where it kind of originated. So a lot of influencers and just whatever else on social media have been calling for Strive to be a short squeeze. And as I said in my video over the weekend, I didn't see that being realistic because at the time only 1.6% of the free float was being shorted. Nonetheless, though, I did anticipate for this to really move higher because you can't argue with thousands upon thousands of people building up some good momentum, all wanting to buy the stock. So I think the writing was on the wall that this was going to really move higher. And interestingly enough, I actually got some comments kind of disappointed that I said that it was a momentum play. I guess a lot of people are in it because of the fundamentals. So I know I didn't really talk too much about it, and because in reality, I think people don't care about the fundamentals right now. They care about it just being a momentum play / a squeeze play. Still, a lot of people think it's a squeeze. Today at the peak, shorts did increase about 31 million shares. So they were very, very active. Of course, they traded back and forth with each other quite a few times. And by the end of the day, they did only end up increasing 7.1. So they were trying their very best to suppress it. Clearly didn't work out all too well for them, but 3.42% of the free floats being shorted works to be 14.1 million shares overall being shorted. So by the end of the day, they did increase their position by 102%. Still though, despite that occurring, I don't see Strive being a squeeze play because just the fundamentals aren't there. Nonetheless, though, I do feel that this still is a big momentum play. And as I mentioned in my video, 179 was going to be that key pivot. And realistically, where I kind of saw it going today, did have a high of $1.81. So like I said, you can kind of dive deep into this so much, but if you just follow the data, things are pretty simple. Sometimes a lot of people overly complicate things in reality. So I think the writing was on the wall. I did close slightly below that, but still that's going to be a key level to really get over tomorrow. So that'll be $1.79. Looking at the options, we did see 83 million in calls, 3.9 in puts, and then 59% of all the options being done today were bullish in nature. Coming from a bull standpoint, you do see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $1.50 to $2, possibly above $2. Bears are anticipating for it to be kind of between that $1 to $1.50. There's not much bearishness from the puts going on. Definitely a lot more bullishness. So definitely good to see. One thing that I always like to look at is block volume. So for instance, these are some of the large ones for today, and you did see 50.14 million of inflow coming from large hedge funds. So big money was buying into Strive. So I don't know if they're getting in because of, once again, the value play aspect of it, or potentially it just being a momentum play, but definitely it was on a lot of people's radar. Aside from all of that though, quickly going back over here. So for tomorrow, just kind of watch for that, this level right here, 179. But based on some of the big transactions that did occur on the dark pool, it is fair to assume that hedge funds are going to continue to really get in as well. So that's again another element to kind of keep in mind. So that we should see another heavy volume day tomorrow most likely. But quickly popping back over here for a second. So on the actual chart, I'll pull this up in a second. So on the actual chart, it was able to successfully get over that 10-day moving average. So kind of signaling that it's building up some good momentum. Stochastic RSI, because of yesterday or Friday and also today's price action, you see it lifting off of that oversold to somewhat neutral. So again, something to keep in mind, but ultimately you have a little bit of willing sellers up until around that $1.90. And if it is able to get above that, you can easily see a very, very nice push higher. So looking at this market position, that's where you can kind of see that for the most part. So yeah, things could get very real very fast. All it needs is that nice continued momentum. And I do believe that a lot of other speculative stocks such as Beyond Meat and Opendoor, a lot of people were rotating out of that to get into this stock. So I think in general, the stock is not over yet, the run, but it is not a squeeze play. So you're not going to see mother of all short squeeze. You're not going to see a push higher to like $100, $200 as what some people are projecting. Realistically, you kind of just have to follow a lot of the support levels as I brought up based on the fib levels. Plus, even aside from that, looking at that 200-day moving average, 308, you also have that 50-day moving average at 362, and then that 100 at 420. So realistically, those might be good exit points, but you guys do whatever floats your boat, and I'm not here to get you guys to buy more or sell. So you guys do whatever floats your boat. With all that said, appreciate all of you guys watching. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So I did put this one out recently, Beyond Meat, called that at 65 cents. And there's been numerous ones similar type of nature. So yeah, it's one of those things that if you just look at the true data, you can see things before they happen. So definitely pop over to the Patreon, check out some of the day trades, swing trades I do post. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.